What's going on, Seaport? It's Pac-Man Jones with Savannah Seaport News. And sorry I haven't been uploading like that. I was having some technical issues, but I'm back online now. Now, before I talk about what everybody has been talking about in Savannah, the July the 5th shooting, I want to cover the 22nd homicide that happened on July the 2nd around 8:39 a.m. in Southbridge neighborhood. Police arrested Charles Berger Jr., who ages 39, for the stabbing death of an adult male at the 300 building of the Villas on the Green condominiums that morning. And also, the person that he stabbed to death was his own father, Charles Berger Sr. He was the victim who died. And Charles Berger Jr., he was arrested at the scene. He didn't even run. Now he's being charged with aggravated assault, aggravated battery, criminal attempt to commit murder, and additional charges are coming pretty soon. I'm surprised he hasn't been charged with murder, just plain out murder. I'm pretty sure that charge will be coming up pretty soon. And for you people that don't know where Southbridge at, Southbridge is, I call it the extended south side because it's off of Highway 17, and it's really right by that Kroger's. It's really behind Kroger's, the whole Southbridge. And it's a big neighborhood. It's really a rich neighborhood where everybody has the nice houses. I mean, they have some nice apartments out there too, but mainly where the rich people stay is out there in those areas. So relatively, you don't really get that much crime out there. I think the last homicide I actually read about, or actually death I read about, was in Fenwick, because a guy, I think he had a standoff and I think he shot himself or something like that. It happened last year. But situations out there, you don't get that too often. Now, let's talk about what everybody's been talking about in Savannah, the July 5th shootings that happened in City Market. Now, officers first responded to the intersection of Jefferson Street and St. Julian Street near City Market at 12:13 a.m. that Wednesday, where two subjects sustained non-life-threatening injuries and one subject is in critical but stable condition. Officers located Travis Kimball, who ages 17, who was suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. According to Savannah Metro Police, Kimball wasn't cooperative with the police at all, so I guess he didn't want to talk about anything that had to do with him getting shot. Now, the second shooting that happened in the City Market area, where it was a white SUV that had 3 people inside the car by the name of Jerry Chambers Jr., who ages 17. Also, another person that was in the car, Gabriel Magulis, who ages 20, and Spencer Stuckey, who ages 17. Now, those people that were in the white SUV, they got in the intersection inside of City Market and began firing at a group of people. 3 people were shot in that area. And following that shooting, that vehicle fled at a high speed. I believe they said that that car was going at least 100 miles per hour when it tried to make a turn. And the chase ended right at the crash at the intersection of Bay and Barnard Streets, right at the Five Guys restaurant. I try to show the location where the Five Guys restaurant is. Police say 3 people died as a result of the crash, 1 pedestrian and 2 people in the vehicle fleeing from the police. The 2 people that died inside the vehicle was Gabriel and the other guy, Spencer Stuckey. Also, the pedestrian that was killed was Scott Waldrop. He was a general manager for a restaurant on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard called The Gray. I haven't been there before, but I was going to go a few weeks ago, but I decided not to. Also, in the situation, the people that were injured from the shooting was a 23-year-old by the name of James Brazelton, and a 16-year-old male sustained injuries from the shooting. Also, April Dixon, who ages 22, later arrived at the hospital with injuries from the shooting. The 16-year-old male was critically injured. Also, Armand Brazelton and Dixon suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Now, the 17-year-old Jerry Chambers Jr. has been charged with 3 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of party to aggravated assault, and 1 count of eluding police. And he had a hearing set on Thursday, but there was no bond set, so that his next court appearance is scheduled for August the 17th of this year. Now, This guy, he has a criminal history as of last year in July of 2016, where he was actually arrested and accused of shooting a 63-year-old woman at the Savannah Mall parking lot. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, why isn't he in jail from that? Well, the police didn't have enough to convict him at the time. You know, they didn't have enough, I guess, evidence at all just to convict him. So that's why he was free on the streets. Now, at that time, he faced charges of robbery and aggravated assault, but, you know, he was released in juvenile court. Now, everything I just told y'all was information that I got from WTOC, WJCL, like all the other major media outlets. Now, I'm going to try to give y'all some information that I got from the streets that I had to look up on my own. Now, the people that did the shooting, from what I know, what WTOC said, but I had to confirm this for myself, the people that did the shooting were affiliated or in a group called OTM, Only the Mob. Now, what I know about that is that's a gang, well, if you want to call themselves a gang, for what I know, that they are about 20 deep, you know, and that's a set off Waters Avenue, the 1600 block of Waters Avenue, a rough side of the city, probably one of the roughest sides of the city, that area. And they call themselves 1600, but I believe they stretch from East 32nd to East 38th off of Waters Avenue. That's what I've been told. I'm not so sure if that's true, but I've been told that stretches from East 32nd to East 38th, those group of guys, and they're about 20 deep. So, and also what I've been reading or just looking on the other side was just that some people are really, well, not just even upset, but they just want some type of revenge for this. I would just say, you know, the damage is done. Everything, I mean, this is the worst that you can probably get from this whole situation, you know. And anybody who's thinking about riding for the homie, I mean, it's worthless now. I mean, he's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail if he's lucky, you know. But who knows? He might get a death penalty. But also, when I say what about this situation is that I don't promote crime. I don't tell people to do it. But god damn it, man, like, you had a better chance of shooting these people on the east side and getting away with it. Because for one, you did it on July the 4th, you know, where in downtown area, that's nothing but police. Police is all downtown. Every corner that you see is a police officer or a police squad car. So you did a shooting in a high area of police presence, knowing that you probably wouldn't get that far away, you know. And I'm not telling people how to do their damn crime, but you could have did that way better than that, you know. And then you're gonna try to hit a corner doing almost 100 miles per hour. Come on, man, like, you set yourself up for failure. Now you got your homies killed, you got your two buddies killed, and you got a dead white man. And I hate to say it like that, but let's keep it real. Whenever a black man kills a white guy, it never looks good, especially if you're in the South, especially if you live in the South. If any crime that happens that results in a white man dying, hey, they gonna throw the book at your ass, man. Like, seriously, like, this guy's fried, extra fried. I mean, he's never getting out of jail at all. So yeah, I mean, it's a real tragic situation that people had to lose their lives over this, because, you know, and I was downtown not when this happened, but I was downtown. I left right after the fireworks because I didn't want to stay that long. And I actually had brought my camera, but I didn't even think about recording anything. You know, I just was having too much fun, and likely so. Everybody that should be down there should be having fun, but, you know, you have these people that just want to come down there and, you know, just start havoc. Now, the people, everybody that's involved in the situation except for the white guy is relatively young. You know, the people, including the people that got shot, including the shooters, including the people that was in the car. Everybody in this situation was young except for the general manager for the Gray restaurant. And now I know a lot of y'all thinking, a lot of people, what I see, well, we need better gun control. Gun control won't do anything. Gun control, bro, you can put GPS locators in guns. People will find a way to take it out. You can give stricter gun laws, like give people medical evaluation before they get a gun. People will still find a way to get a gun. I mean, you can do all these types of just try to do everything that you can to ban guns from these groups of people, and you're still gonna get it. And I'll tell you a small short story. My brother used to have like plenty of illegal guns, and he was like 16, 17, 18, walking in the house, in my mom's house, and I see him pull out a pistol, and he's like only 16, with a green dot on it. You gotta ask yourself, how does a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old get a gun like this? For one, he can't buy it legally, not unless if he has a guardian or something like that. So how is a kid getting a gun like this? Guns are everywhere, man. I get, bro, like, you don't even understand. Like, I get offered illegal guns all the times, like AKs for $750, Desert Eagles for cheap. They got bodies on it, of course, but what I'm saying is, people will still find a way to get their hands on guns. It doesn't matter what gun control or whatever have you. So I know what you're thinking, well, who to blame in the situation? Honestly, I don't know who to blame besides the shooters, the people that was inside the car, because without this, none of this would actually ever happen. But I know a lot of people would come on here and be like, oh, you shouldn't be talking about this guy. Man, this motherfucker shot 3 people and killed innocent people. Like, I can't feel sorry for nobody like that. I can't at all. Also, a lot of people saying, well, you can't blame the parents, or, and for once, I'll defend that. I'll defend that. Sometimes you can't always defend the parents, because a lot of times these guys' parents are good, hardworking people. Sometimes they just live in a hard area, but there's a lot of parents that are really strict on their children, and sometimes it just turns out for better or for worse, and I can't really blame it on the parents, because I don't know them at all. I don't know their whole situation, their whole environment or whatever. But it's tough, man. And you got to think, well, how could you prevent this? Well, since the people were relatively young in the situation that were inside the car, maybe they could have had some type of after-school program for these fellas, just to, have these people in the right state of mind. Because like I always said this, it's a mentality that these guys have. Why would you want to shoot somebody in a crowded area? Why? It's a mentality. So it's a mentality that you got to beat. So I'll just leave it at that. And in my last piece of news, well, I'm pretty sure everybody heard about this one, where actor Shia Labeouf, aka Stanley Yelnats from Hoes, was arrested in Savannah City Market area early Saturday morning. Officials say 31-year-old Shia Labeouf approached a citizen and Savannah Chatham Metro Police officer around 4 a.m. close to the intersection of Barnard and West St. Julian Streets, asking for a cigarette. Labeouf came agitated when he was not given a cigarette and began to use profanities and vulgar language with women and children nearby. He was asked to leave the area, which he refused, and he began to act aggressively towards the officer. When the officer attempted to take him into custody, he ran to a hotel lobby. Eventually, he was taken into custody for his disorderly behavior. He was charged with public drunkenness, disorderly conduct, and obstruction. He was released around 11 a.m. that Saturday morning, where police say he dug a hole inside of Chatham County Jail just to escape. Okay, that wasn't funny. But no, he bailed out. He posted $3,500 bail. And yeah, man, I know it's fucked up. A lot of people were happy that, Shia Labeouf was in Savannah, and just the fact that he got arrested, and all this other media bullshit that's been going on. I mean, pretty much anybody that's been inside of Chatham County Jail knows that it's a rough place. I mean, there's a lot of neglect. Get a lot of neglect from the officers inside, the nursing staff that's inside. I mean, it's one of the roughest jails. I wouldn't say in the whole world, but just in the coastal state of Georgia. And the only reason why he's in Savannah is because he's filming a movie called Peanut Butter Falcon that's going to be filmed in Savannah. I believe it's going to be released sometime next year. So he just got to keep his head on his shoulders, man, and learn how to control his alcohol. So, he'll be good, So that's all for right now. It's Pac-Man Jones with Savannah Seaport News, and stay blessed.